some really scary crow action going on here, so better hurry up. I decided to brew a beer and ferment it with mango juice. Yes, I know it sounds stupid, but I wanted to do a sour beer, but instead of growing a bacterial culture, I bought 2 big cartons of mango juice with bacteria in it and added that to the beer and a lot of time. I also used a lot of mango. So today I thought I would share my experience with trying this beer, because this has been sitting now in the keg for 3 years. I did sample it a few years back, but I have not touched it for 3 years. So we get the full recipe if you wanted to try this yourself, probably not. And you will get to know if the beer sucks. So let's just kick it. I'm DrHans, this is DrHans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing. This video will probably suck because I don't have any B-roll or brewing footage, so I'm trying to overcompensate by shooting this in the forest. But we'll get back into the brew shed and taste the beer shortly, but I wanted to give you the recipe and the method I used. I think the crowds are back, so better hide out here for a bit. It was a quite simple recipe. I used 5 kilos of Pilsner malt and used some hops. I was aiming for 5 IBUs. I did actually age the hops in the oven. I baked it for a few hours, about 50 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me why, my brother told me to. And it was Sass hops, I think, but it doesn't really matter. That went into a 60-minute boil, and after 60 minutes I chilled it down and transferred it over into a bucket. And pitched, I think I ended up with 23 liters in a bucket, and I pitched 4 liters of that probiotic mango juice on top of it and left it for a full year. And the only thing I did that year was that I filled up the airlock. And after that year, I did sample it and I didn't get any mango at all. Maybe not a surprise. So I went to the store, bought a kilo of frozen mango and just poured that on top and left it for another year. And after that second year, I transferred to a keg, and it has now been sitting for over 3 years. It might be like 3.5 years, maybe going into 6 years in total. Let's hurry back home before the crowds get me and see if the beer sucks. Just hooked this up and I poured some out so we can get some clean beer. Don't want the dregs from 5 years in the bottom. Sorry for screaming. Doctor, can we put some music on? Maybe some pour? Yes. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Let's do this. Epic pour. Nice. Can we get head on it? Probably not. This is crystal clear. Let me try to give a head on it. Everyone loves good head. Link down below to the Everyone Loves Good Head t-shirt. And there's a lot of other links there also. So I have been talking about this on Patreon channel members behind the scenes videos. If you want to join in that family, links down below in the description. Or if you just want to support my channel, buy me a coffee page and PayPal and everything. Slight haze. I don't know why. What happened in the end there? We're crystal clear in the beginning. Maybe I stirred something up. It carries a little bit of head there. Let me give it a sniff. Maybe also thumbnail opportunity. Let me give it a sniff. Sour, fruity, wouldn't say mango. It smells kind of nice. Not super funky, but it has slight funk to it. So it's more funky than a Berliner Weisse Lactobacillus. Okay, cheers, let's dive in. It's sour, all right. Good level of sourness. I'm not pH tested, but I could do that. Doctor, can you take the pH and write that down here in edit? Hopefully I can even do it a little bit better than just slapping a number on there, because I think there's a little bit more to it than just the pH, especially for this beer, because this beer ended up with a really high pH, 3.7, and yes, I did double check my pH meter, but pH, or power of hydrogen, is just a way to measure pH, how acidic or alkaline water is. Another way to measure acidity is TA, but think about it a little bit like IBUs. IBUs is not a measurement on how bitter the beer is, it's an IBU measurement. Well, what do I mean with that? Because you have sweetness in the beer, you have alcohol amount. Alcohol also brings sweetness to the table, and that counteracts the bitterness, or in this case the sourness. Then you also have different kind of acids, and all of them aren't perceived at the same amount of bitterness, so it gets a little more complex, but it's a total experience of the beer and not just a pH value. Did I just make everything more complicated, or does this make any sense? Well, back to the doctor in the brew shed. It's very complex, quite funky, but still clean, really refreshing, has really a bite to it. I can feel it, not so much in the gum, but in the back end of the mouth, the sourness. Nice level of carbonation, has like lingering sourness. How would I describe it? Almost like an apple cider vinegar, so it really like salivates in your mouth after a little while, after the beer goes down. Might sound silly, but it's hard to describe beer. Was it worth waiting 5 years? Well, nothing is worth waiting 5 years. Is it a good beer? Yes, it's a really good sour beer. Would you ever say mango? No, probably not. I don't know. Should we wait another 5 years and see if it improves? Comment down below. If you don't want to wait 5 years, maybe you could use the Feel Not So Sour yeast, which I used in the Not So Sour Raspberry. You can watch that video. Or if you're not into sour beers at all, maybe YouTube picked a better video for you to go and watch. Or you can try to click any one of these ones. Yeah. Okay, see you in the next one. Hej då!